A great artist communicates through art. Gung Fu. Gung Fu blends the essence of the mind with the martial arts techniques available. Gung Fu progresses through 3 stages. Stage 1. The primitive stage is defined by drills and forms. In this stage, the student goes through the motions as mandated by technique, molding the fight to the technique rather than responding to their opponent in the moment. Stage 2. The artful stage is defined by mastery of forms. In this stage, the student has become a craftsman, but is still limited by the mind prison, doing only what is allowed within the parameters of technique. Stage 3. The artless stage is defined by letting go. In this stage, the student releases everything that has been learned. The greatest technique is invisible and efficient. The more complicated and restrictive a method is, the less the opportunity there will be for the expression of one's original sense of freedom. Philosophy. Every action should have its why and wherefore, and there ought to be a complete and proficient theory to back up the whole concept of Chinese martial arts. There are 4 types of philosophical worldviews: absolutism, shouldiism, existentialism, and Gestalt therapy. Gung Fu is most in harmony with the Gestalt worldview. Both seek to live in harmony with nature, to discover its mysteries through no-mindedness and non-action. Psychology. The meaning of life is that it is to be lived, and it is not to be traded and conceptualized and squeezed into a pattern of systems. Psychology allows the mind to participate in the art of Gung Fu. Through self-inquiry, one discovers the forms that hold the mind captive. If we are willing to go beyond the mental forms, we will be free in mind and body. Poetry. All streams flowing east or west must flow into the sea. Everything done is an extension of the artist in residence. Whether or not the artist is ever given a voice depends entirely on the ability of the host to be aware, without being controlled by ego. Jeet Kune Do, the liberation. Learn the principles, abide by the principles, and then dissolve the principles. Truth cannot be structured or confined. Learning a combat style creates response patterns that protect us from insecurity and uncertainty. This false sense of security causes us to see things as they should be rather than as they are. The goal of Jeet Kune Do is to respond efficiently and effectively to situations as they are, not as we would like them to be. Acting. As in the combative arts, to train a deliverer and make him ready, mentally and physically, is difficult enough. And to find one with just that right appropriateness and that rare quality of a dedicated artist can happen once in a blue moon. Acting, like martial arts, psychology, philosophy, and poetry, is an expression of the self. An actor should aspire to be much more than a star. Letting go of ego, embracing discipline, and tending to every part of the self will prepare an actor for excellence. Self-knowledge. In life, what can you ask for but to be real? Self-knowledge is a process that takes a lifetime. Even when greatness has been achieved, one might still be blind to the truth of the self if there is not honesty and humility. Letters. Final thoughts, as inspired by Bruce Lee's personal correspondence. I'll do my best to write it clearly, and I hope that you, too, will keep an open mind in this letter. Success comes to those who become success conscious. The best way to teach is through an economy of form. In an economy of form, the three stages of technique are synchronization of self, synchronization with the opponent, execution of technique under fighting conditions. Art is a means of acquiring liberty, whether through martial arts, acting, or being an artist of life. Remember well that art lives where absolute freedom is. Bruce Lee.